Hey Buddha family, am I excited for December's update of the tropical plants? As you can tell, these things have exploded, just like I said. So let me bring you in and show you the maintenance we gotta look out for and how they're doing. This is Buddha, who would like to help with today's video. So here we're gonna start with the Lantana topiary. Still flowering, but you can see how much it's grown. It's only been a month, so you can see that we're definitely going to have to continue to prune these. Otherwise, this thing's going to be almost just as big as it was before we moved in. So that's definitely on the docket today. And when you're pruning, you also want to keep an eye out for any branches that just didn't make it. So look at right here. See how this one is all brown, dried up. Don't see any new green growth along the stem. So I'm going to end up cutting that one back here. Here we have another one. Now this is an interesting one because it's mostly dead all the way up to here. But it does have a green growth point there and a nice long one here. So that shows me that this whole stem is still alive. So while you're tempted to cut it, I wouldn't just yet. If anything, I would just trim this end one. And remember, with lantanas, they are shrubs. So they're always going to try to revert to that shrub form. You got a bunch coming out here. So to keep that topiary look, again, we're just going to have to keep going through and picking all these off. So that's on the list. Here we have a Fiesta hibiscus, which is still transitioning. So I'm not going to do much of this one except kind of just pick off the yellowing leaves. All these brown spots, these are still the old leaves. And what I care about is that new growth right here. So you can see those two leaves. Perfect. The new growth nice and green. So they'll lose all the old leaves and the new ones will come in. Here we have one of our topiaries. Lush green, look at that. Even a bud. And you remember how these looked. So the leaves are nice and shiny, glossy. Exactly what we're hoping for. Down here, we got another hibiscus. Not much I'm going to do with that one. He looks like he's rebounding quite nicely. I didn't touch on these before, but these are my Alice DuPont mandivillas. So these don't require much at all. Keep these bone dry. Just gonna keep picking off any of the brown leaves. But all I care about is like, see that whole vine? That's all new. So this thing is healthy, healthy, healthy. New vine, new vine, new vine. You can see all the new shoots trying to come out right here. Those beautiful new shoots. Here's our other one. You can see all the, this one almost lost all of its old leaves. Just vine. And then it comes up. All that beautiful green foliage. This thing's going to be huge next year. Beautiful pink flowers. There's everyone's favorite, the red tiger Butylon. So this one takes a little bit longer to transition for me. So I'm going to go through, pick off any of the brown leaves. Just like with that lantana, see this stem? This one didn't make it. So I'm going to go all the way back and cut it off to here. But don't worry, because you see this beautiful new baby right here? It'll take over. So you can see all the new growth, new leaves. So the buds are coming. Look at these buds. Hundreds of buds on these already. And it's December. That's why I love this plant. And again, it's in that shrub family. So you can see it's going to keep trying to send them out. So I'm going to pick these off to keep that nice trunk and topiary. And nice dark green leaves. New growth all looks great. But I am excited to show you this one. I'm going to put a picture up of what this one looked like in the first video. It had almost no leaves, if you remember. Look at how well it's rebounded. Those things are just beautiful. So glossy, so green. It's even got flower buds. And look at this. Remember, no leaves, worst looking one. And it even gave me a flower. This is why you just have to be patient with your tropicals. This thing, expired flower here, 2 more buds ready to go. So that's your December update. I am thrilled with how these plants look. I check them a couple times a week for the bugs. And now I just got to do my maintenance I just went over with you. So here's something I like to look out for. You see how these two stems cross right here? I don't want that. They're going to eventually rub on each other from the wind and it can cause some disease. So anytime that they cross, you want to try to eliminate one of those. And this guy looks pretty uniform coming off. This is the guy that's sent up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut him. You can see that I actually have some green growth down here. Here's the stem I want to get rid of where it crosses right there. So I can see that I have some green growth, and that's where the new shoots will come out of. So I'm going to come back down to this one. Just cut it off. And then I can slowly direct this one out. We no longer need this one. Here you can see on this braided hibiscus, even though it's a tree, still a shrub. So we're going to want to have to keep picking off these growth points. I got one over here too. That way we can keep our nice cool trunk look. Look at that. So cool. Again, if there's any dead sticks just like this, I didn't quite make it, I want to snip them off. And lastly, we have our Butylon. Remember me saying this whole stem is dead, so I'm just going to cut this one all the way back. Just like that. You can see right here is the new growth that will replace that stem. I'll just go through and I'll move any of these brown leaves, any yellowing leaves that easily come off. I'll try to force them. And yes, just like the lantana and the hibiscus, the Butylon is in that shrub family, so it's always going to want to revert. So we got to get rid of these guys to keep that trunk. Oop, there's another one right there. Even this guy, he's coming off the main stem. He's just going to be in the middle of all these established branches, so I'm going to get rid of him too, because he's just going to get choked out. What do you think, Buddha? Want to show them what they look like? All right, it's a wrap. Let's show you what they look like. Starting off with the lantana. We trimmed up any dead branches, took off those shoots at the bottom, and then basically at every new growth point, I kind of just snipped it, topped them all so that they wouldn't get leggy and that they would bush out. A Fiesta, we just trimmed up the yellow leaves so they didn't fall in and rot. A lot of those leaves are still going to fall off. The Butylon, you wanted to pick off any growth points so it stays that topiary look. You wanted to keep an eye out for any branches that didn't make it. We snipped some off, leaving some new ones to take over. Look at all these buds. Love this plant. And the hibiscus topiaries, I didn't do much to them because if you remember from the last video, if you do a heavy pruning when you first bring them in, get rid of a lot of those dead leaves. It's a lot easier and less work as the winter goes on. And these things are just flourishing. You can tell with the flowers and the buds coming. Oof. I can't wait to show you what January brings. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Catch you around.